Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Talking Movies. My name is Josh.
I'm Clay.
I'm Chris.
I'm Randall.
And today we're talking about my pick this week. This is The Skin I Live In from 2011.
Vete de una puta vez, anda.
This is Pedro I forget how to pronounce his last name. Almodovar or something like that. Spanish director. It's about a what do you call him? A scientist or a biologist
He's a doctor. I mean, they call him doctor, but
doctor.
he's a mad doctor, I guess.
Yeah,
He's a plastic surgeon.
Plastic surgeon.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. He's a surgeon or doctor that is creating this new skin that's more it's tougher and it's like burn resistant.
Yeah, it's more resilient.
You find out that because his wife got burned really bad and ended up dying, killing herself because of she was so badly burned. So he's traumatized by this and using his knowledge to create this skin, and then he's got this woman in his locked in a room, mysterious person.
Yeah, it's like a test subject or whatever.
And you slowly unravel the mystery of who this person is, and some crazy shit happens.
Dude, did anybody else watch this with no fucking subtitles the first 20 minutes?
No.
Why
would I do that?
Because I went to 8. Was it on Max? Is that what it was on?
Yeah.
I couldn't get it with English subtitles. It just wasn't available on my thing, right? So I had to finally go find it on YouTube Movies and rent it.
Okay.
Oh, I was so irritated because I was like, I'm positive Josh said this was on Max, and so I was like, why would it not have? So I even went to subtitles, and it's just Spanish subtitles, and I was like,
you were watching that shit on Telemundo, Randy.
Chris, did you watch it on Max?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and it had English subtitles.
Camera up, yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea. It was crazy, man. I was watching it, and then I thought it would just automatically have English subtitles, and it didn't. So I was like, that's weird. And so I tried it 3 or 4 times, and I just was like, I don't have time to waste on this. I'll just go to rent it, and I found it on YouTube. But whatever. I mean, I don't care. I thought it was funny. I thought surely I didn't hear from y'all, so I figured that I was the only idiot with that problem. So.
I have a Blu-ray of it, and it's
nice.
a US Blu-ray, so it has the subtitles automatically on there.
What company did the Blu-ray come from? Is it a Severin or?
I think no, it's just a standard
standard Blu-ray.
I think it's Sony or somebody, I forget, but out of print Blu-ray now.
That's fun.
Yeah,
awesome.
Clay is the one that introduced me to this movie. Actually, I think I borrowed it from him the first time I watched it, maybe a year or so ago. So why don't you tell us what you think about this one first?
Yeah, I'm so proud that I introduced you to this movie. I don't know. I don't remember how I stumbled across this movie. I always research weird, psychosexual shit. And I was like, hey, Antonio Banderas is in a movie doing this. And so I watched it. It was really wild. I like Antonio Banderas. I was thinking today about my intro to Banderas was probably Desperado.
Yeah.
And at the time I was kind of this machismo isn't really connecting with me. But this movie, I think he plays sort of an aristocratic physician really well. He's very intelligent. He seems like an intelligent person, and so I think it's a good role for him.
I think he's a lot better of an actor in his native language.
I agree with that.
I haven't seen a lot of of his Spanish movies, but all the ones that I've seen, I liked him much more. Like he's got a lot more pathos. And, I don't know. It's just there's a little deeper levels to what he's doing. I feel like when he's speaking in English, he's maybe he has to focus on that a little bit more. And the acting suffers from it. As much as I love stuff like Desperado, he's fun and fun in those movies, but the acting is not exactly top tier. I love Desperado, especially. That movie's awesome. This one is I just really like it. It's a weird ass movie, but it kind of reminds me of Cronenberg in a lot of ways. Just the psychosexuality of it and the weird surgery aspect of it. It's kind of got a body horror element to it. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I feel like I don't know how you guys feel. I know because Randy and Chris had not seen it before. The first time I watched it, I feel like I knew where it was going fairly quickly, maybe within like 30 minutes or so. And watching it this time, I was like, I don't think it's really trying to hide it from you that much. Like it is.
Yeah, dude, even I called it immediately.
It's withholding information, but there's obviously something weird going on from the beginning, right?
Right.
And there's never, I was just watching it this time, and like, there's never like this aha, like surprise moment, like where it's like, this is the reveal, it just sort of like
that
slowly unraveling this thing where you're just like, kind of just like, okay. And then you're just like watching this slow motion train wreck.
Right.
Yeah. I really dig it. What did you think, Randy?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off like that.
No, you're good.
I tend to forget things if I don't say them like right away. So
no,
I just
go ahead.
People. I definitely agree with that. I don't think it was intending to like drop a bomb in your lap. I think it wanted you to see it from afar and go, is that really what's going on? And then you go, chick, and you're like, surely that's not what's really happening. Because immediately upon like the scene in the park area at the party, I was like, oh, I know exactly.
Oh yeah, this is fucked up.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I know exactly what's happening.
Right.
And I even told Chris, I was like, I think this is happening, and she was like, there's no way. And then when it happened, she like looked at me and I was like, I told you. And she was like, I was like, I watch way too many fucking bad, like terrible movies, but this reminded me of two movies, like combined 50-50, dude. This was like that movie, The Assignment.
I knew you were gonna say that one. Yeah.
With The Human Centipede. It was like those two movies combined together, man. Like
if they were an art house film.
Well, no, if this movie was just better, it would be not playing. Right. Human Centipede is a hot piece of garbage, but it's still something I've seen. So like it just reminded me of those two movies because it had like equal parts of those two things. But yeah, The Assignment, that's all I could think about. And this was like, oh, that's fuck, this poor bastard. It was a lot more artfully done, like you said, and it was a little more I don't know if realistic's the right word, but it was not so ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Those are more exploitation movies.
Right. And this shit was just, I mean, this is a ridiculous film. Like it's just it's fucking ridiculous. Like it's so fucking ridiculous. Like his daughter's like bro, I could 7 hours of conversation on this fucking movie, man. I don't know if I like it or not. I can't. Carissa liked it and I think I liked it, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm very confused by it.
Yeah,
that's like, who the fuck makes this movie?
That's honestly why like I wanted you here for it, because it's just an interesting thing to talk about. It's
right. No, I think I liked it. I kind of want to have a copy, but I don't know how often I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, it's not one you're like rewatching all the time, maybe. But
so Hugh introduced you to this. I was wondering how you stumbled across this because it's been on my watch list for a long time.
No, I had known about it, but he was the one that was like, I really like this movie, and I was like, oh man, I've been wanting to watch it. And
okay.
But he was the one that kind of like pushed me,
nudged you forward a little bit,
nudged me to watch it. Yeah.
Because I've had it on my list for a long time, solely because I like Antonio Banderas. Like I just like him, and I was like, "Oh, that's weird." It's like a pseudo science fiction-y type of drama, and I was like, "All right," but I just never got around to watching it. So when you said that, I was like, "Oh, I'll watch that." because I immediately remembered like the art on it and not understanding what the hell it meant.
Right.
And so I wanted to know what it meant, and that's the reason that I was curious about it, because I wanted to understand what the movie poster represented.
Mm-hmm.
And that woman is. How funny is this though? Oh shit! Are we spoiling the hell out of this?
Well,
I guess so. Right?
yes.
It's 14 years old.
Yeah.
So at the point, okay, so when she first comes on screen, the woman in the room, like when he's got her on the thing, I was like, oh fuck, dude, 10 out of 10. She is so good looking. And then as soon as that reveal actually was confirmed, I was like, that's weird. And Crystal was like, what? And I was like, she went from like a 10 to like a 2. Like really, like really fucking quick.
Didn't affect it for me at all. I'll be honest.
Well, okay, so here's the thing.
Movie.
Well, no, here's the thing. Like, I don't actually care about that stuff. I don't know why it changed, but it did.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, honestly, I don't know that I would care in real life. I don't give a shit, man. It is what it is, bro. You don't really have control over who you're attracted to and why. Right. I just noticed that it definitely changed as soon as I realized that my speculation is correct. I was like, oh, that's weird. I don't know.
Yeah,
man said it didn't matter to me at all.
There's multiple like moments of like suspensions of disbelief you gotta take to get through this movie. Well, especially at the end when he's just like falling in love with her and like totally just lets her free and everything. But
that seemed very realistic.
She's so fucking hot that I'm like, I could. I mean, he's pretty crazy by the end of this movie too.
Pretty, man.
And she's so hot. He's like, okay, I could kind of see it.
Yeah, she was incredibly attractive, dude. Like her skin was like so. I was wondering if they had done any kind of like,
they definitely, because she's supposed to be like so perfect, right? Because she's because she's artificial.
Well, they did a good job because I couldn't really tell. I was like, man, I'm not sure if they did anything with it. I've mentioned that probably 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, I was just when they did something with it.
I mean, I kind of thought, but I wasn't sure. I wouldn't be surprised if you had said, no, they just found some badass chick with really nice skin. I mean, I've seen people with pretty perfect skin, but not head to toe like that.
Yeah. Chris, your turn.
Yeah. I remember y'all talking about this a while back, and I threw it on my watch list, but never got around to it. I liked it. I think I'm a victim of my expectations because I was kind of expecting some maybe not necessarily Cronenberg-esque, but like I don't want to really compare it to Cronenberg or The Substance or something like that.
Oh, sure.
Just kind of unfair, but I mean, I definitely did get the Cronenberg vibe through it at multiple points. It was just like the Cronenberg without the Cronenberg for me.
Damn, I never once thought Cronenberg in this whole movie.
I couldn't really connect with it too much. My house is insane. I'm assuming you guys can hear that.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like I liked it, and like you said, you gotta suspend your disbelief a few times. So that really didn't bother me too much, but I don't know. It was just missing something for me. I don't know.
English.
But it was good though. It was well done. It was well shot. Antonio Banderas, probably one of the better like Antonio Banderas movies I've seen. Just him acting wise. So it's good. I mean, I would maybe come around on it a little bit more again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I had an idea in my head of what it might be, and when it wasn't that, I was just like, okay.
Man,
okay, I got you.
I guess I didn't really see. I don't know, man. I've had it on my watch list for a long time. I never really thought Cronenberg. I didn't know I was supposed to be thinking Cronenberg in this movie. That's crazy.
I mean, I wasn't really thinking like I wouldn't think like in gloopy monster, whatever, The Fly or The Substance type weirdness, but I at least wanted. I mean, there was really no body horror. I wanted at least some sort of
okay.
I see what you mean.
Some sort of body horror element. Yeah, I didn't need the over the top Cronenbergness.
No,
but
that's where I missed it because I never even got to the point where I was expecting the body horror stuff because I didn't really know what the movie was about at all. Like I didn't even read the synopsis. I just knew. I probably read it when I put it on my watch list.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just described as a thriller.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So like, I wasn't expecting, like anything horror, specific horror, but
Yeah.
yeah,
And it does have that like Spanish melodrama aspect to
yeah.
it too. Which
I like that part about it too. Yeah,
I didn't. Yeah, I
do
didn't.
you, Josh?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I didn't mind it, but it just wasn't like.
Well, when the tiger dude showed up, I was like, I'm in. This is fucking.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
I watched it with Tori. I was like, you Spanish people, you're just so flamboyant, aren't you?
Yeah, at first I was just like, is this just like him? Is this just what he is? And like, oh, okay,
right.
Like,
I was literally thinking the same thing. Like,
that makes sense. Like, I don't think they should have explained it. He just should have been there.
Right. Well, Carissa started it. We started watching it at like almost 10, and I told her, I was like, well, hey, if you don't want to finish it, just like at any point, just go to bed. And she watched the whole movie. So I watched it without falling asleep at all, which is a huge, like, that's rare.
That was something I was gonna say too. Like I had seen it before. Me and Tori had never seen it, but we were both pretty tired and didn't get to start it till like, I don't know, like 9 o'clock or something, which is kind of late for.
That is pretty late for us. Yeah.
And we both like sat there and watched the whole thing all the way through. And I was thinking that, like, man, it's not a fast-paced movie, but there's never not something happening. There's always a new element, it's always keeps going. It's just the right amount of pacing for like this type of movie to keep you engaged. So I really appreciated that.
Because I was up until midnight watching it too. Like I otherwise normally probably would have fallen asleep at some point. And
yeah,
I was up watching it, so I can put that in the plus column.
I've had a lot of conversations with people about slow and boring don't mean the same thing to me. And this is a movie that would be a really great example of that. It is not particularly high paced, but it never got boring to me. Like not every single part of it was something that I cared a lot about necessarily, but it never got boring. Like everything was, there was always, I think that they moved the story along by putting different people in front of you often enough to where there was always something about to change. And when you're like, all right, I'm kind of done with Antonio right now. It goes, Bink, let's go to this other dude in this like dress shop for a little bit. And then it's like, oh, boop, let's go to this party for a little bit. And just the setting changed enough. I liked it, man. And I thought the characters were really interesting because they were all kind of weird and quirky in their own way. And I really liked that. The only thing that I didn't see coming was when she vouched for Antonio Banderas. I was surprised. I was like, oh shit, didn't see that coming. Everything else, I was a little surprised at how much I was able to kind of like see the stuff coming at me, but that caught me off guard. But I mean, seeing something coming doesn't really bother me on a movie. I kind of find it fun because I never typically do that. So I'm usually like, oh, I had no idea that was fixing to happen. Like,
right. I think he, want to take her own revenge.
Right. Well, yeah. Once the rest of it like
clicked
opened up, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, that makes a little more sense. But at the moment when it happened, I was like, okay, this is getting weirder. Like that's insane to me. I was like screaming like, go, leave with each other, get married, and start a weird ass family. Go adopt a bunch of one-legged kids or some shit. Like
that would have been a good ending or something. Yeah,
that would have been amazing.
Maybe Chris would have liked it more if it got weirder.
Three-legged kid. Oh, one-legged kid.
Some mutant child popped out.
Well, like there was just a bunch of little things in it that I found incredibly interesting. But yeah. I don't want to take up more airtime. I want to hear what Clay's got to say about this. Like, I want to know what it is that you like about it.
I mean, it's just like initially I thought like, oh, this chick is being held prisoner by him, right? And I thought, well, that's kind of weird. Like, what's the gist of their relationship if that's the case? Like, is it by choice or by force? And
well, you love movies where girls are held prisoner.
I mean,
they're not Asian.
So,
well, yeah.
I like holding girls prisoner and making movies. I go the other direction
as long as it's consensual. But yes, I mean, so you know, that the relationship aspects always are what I'm looking for. I think here again, I think Antonio Banderas does like a really solid job for me in terms of like delivery. I don't know, man. Like if it's just a freaky movie, I like the Cronenberg kind of similarities that you guys are talking about. You know, but Cronenberg is a little more like dripping goop and grimy, you know, body horror stuff.
I mean, yes and no. Like if you in the first half of his career for sure, but there's a whole other chapter of his career that's like, you know, history of violence.
That's what I was fixing
Eastern
to say.
Promises
Yep.
and
Promises is one of my
Dead
favorites.
Zone, like Dead Zone's
Yeah.
not. I mean,
Oh,
even
dude.
That's in the 80s era, the more
yeah, but I mean,
horror
but
area, but
Dead Ringers. I mean,
it's very exactly. I was thinking of stuff like Dead Ringers.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, that's a surgery aspect, the psychosexual aspect.
If you're saying, hey, we're gonna transform somebody's gender, you know, it kind of is. You could just use that in a Cronenberg-esque way very effectively. I think you could really, you know, spruce it up with some goop somehow.
This could have been way weirder for sure.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, it could have.
But the skin grafting aspects, the kind of weird sciencey stuff, it's almost like Reanimator, but not as silly. I don't know. It's a strong movie to me, really, in a lot of ways, for a lot of reasons. And I've watched it a couple times, and it's never been like, I don't know, this is boring, right? Like you guys say, you can always kind of just find something there where you're like, the hell, I don't remember this, right?
I like that it's toned down a little bit because I'm so like consumed with over the top crazy movies or like super low budget DIY movies that like something that's like well made that still fits like my criteria of being a little left of center. I don't want like your standard movie. I want something weird. I kind of always want something weird. This one fits that box in a way that maybe could be palatable for your average Joe as well. So like if I was to sit down and somebody's going to go, hey man, let's watch something I didn't know them super well. And I'm like, okay, well, all I have is like really strange movies. And I can go, well, at least this one here, like while being strange is like well made and not incredibly gory. So like, I don't know. My point is that the fact that it's a little bit reeled in, it kind of was honestly a big plus for me because I don't typically have movies like that on my list of things to watch.
And there's a lot of issues where you could really go wrong with something like this. It's already like if you look on Letterboxd reviews and stuff, it's kind of controversial because it deals with trans issues and things like that. So people are going to be all over the map with this sort of thing.
Yeah.
But to me, I feel like it balances those things like really well. Like it's because it's not someone transitioning. It's a horror movie. He's it's a forced transition.
What could anybody have a problem like from that community? What would have you read any of the? Could you like cite to me like, any complaints? I'm just curious. I don't understand why somebody could say anything about
that using transition as a form of torture is like transphobic.
When it's against your will, it is just like drinking water would be if you didn't want water, or eating a hamburger would be like, what the fuck is wrong?
Right? No, I don't. Yeah, I don't agree with it.
That's
but
wild.
Obviously, we're all
okay. That's the same stuff people say about The Assignment.
I mean, but people hate that movie for a lot of those reasons.
Love that
right,
movie, dude. The Assignment's better than Oppenheimer. Just saying.
Oh my
god. But
I think it's interesting that
Josh,
like the guy's personality changes too, right? He's kind of a little effeminate as a man, but when he's a woman, you're completely sold. So he obviously he must lean into the transitioning.
What else are you gonna do? You gotta look, dude. In life, when you're given like these weird like obstacles, whether it be something like that or something like a broken toe, right? Like you have a choice. Am I going to accept this and try to be like, if you're in this situation, you have one choice or the other: be happy or don't be happy. And yes, that's a miserable situation, right? You still have the day to be happy or not be happy. And so I think the dude just kind of felt like, all right, well, I'm in this situation, I may as well make the best of it. And I also called that chick in the dress shop as soon as that was revealed. I was like, dude's gonna be with that girl in the dress shop. I know that's coming. And it was more or less insinuated versus shown.
Tori said
But
that too. She was like, as soon as I saw, that guy, he was kind of short, kind of feminine looking.
Yeah,
like
a lot of
kinda
things were.
clicked.
Yeah. I like that though, and I like that I was like rewarded. Like, hey, you paying attention? Here you go. Yes, this is what's going on.
Pat
I
you on the
appreciate
head.
that. Yeah, I don't, dude. I like getting. I'm tiny, dude. I'm 5'7", dude. 5'8" on a good day. Like, so like I'll
Yeah,
figure
it's but I feel like it's delicately it handles those things delicately in the right way.
Yeah.
for
I
me.
didn't think it was disrespectful at all.
Yeah, and but it's also basically a mad scientist movie. Like,
Right.
you can look back at this and be like, oh, this comes from Frankenstein, or
That's what I was thinking. Frankenstein, bro.
well,
Straight up.
I'd heard someone say that it's very influenced by that movie Eyes Without a Face. I think we watched that.
Oh, that's interesting.
The girl, the little kid with the mask, because she doesn't have a face, and her I think it's her dad is a surgeon. He keeps stealing these people and like removing their faces, trying to surgically give her a face. And it's like a old like 50s horror movie or something.
I don't remember that one.
You watched it with us, Randy.
Don't doubt that a bit.
But even I think the little like silicone mask that she wears at one point, that's sort of a reference.
I do remember that one now.
Yeah.
When you said silicone mask, it just clicked, and I was like, oh, I remember that little girl being
yeah.
That's awful. That's terrible.
Yeah, as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, I could totally see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole surgery aspect of it.
That's cool, man. That was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I was looking at the, going from a guy to a girl, like it's still a girl actress. So
yeah.
It's so hot.
Oh, dude. No, look, dude, I've seen plenty of people in the trans community that I was like, that's a good looking person. Don't really give a shit, right? I don't get affected by that. Like, I don't necessarily want to see a big swinging dick, but like, a pretty face is a pretty face, right? So I was actually surprised that it changed the way I looked at that person. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, huh. Because usually I don't really give a shit. Like, you can't really control, like your brain goes, oh, attractive person. I just typically look at men and go, yeah, I'm not attracted to that person. So like, I don't have to worry about it. I imagine if you were gay, it's the same thing. You look at him and go, oh, attractive dude. You just can't help that. It's just how you think, Yeah.
And I was saying that more to like, when they make the switch or they reveal it, I guess.
Right.
The actress is
it's still a woman. Like, so he's not acting femininely. He's the actress is a woman. It's a different actress. So
he knows what's really going on downstairs.
But I'm real bad about like watching TV shows and stuff too, because like if a character gets killed off, it's like, they just fired that actor, or that actor didn't resign their contract. That's why they killed them off. So I'm just looking at it from a movie watcher perspective that,
right.
I guess I'm not getting fully sucked into the movie. It's just
I have that problem too sometimes.
The point where they're at the party and the dude like looks at the camera straight dead on and then smiles. That's the moment that I was like, oh my God, because the guy looks just like the kind of person you would think you're going to do. Like, it's similar enough in their bone structure and their face that it was like, oh, that guy he looks, like you said earlier, a little bit effeminate. That's when it kind of clicked for me. And I was like, oh, that's wild. I was like, I wonder if they're really going to go through with this movie, like in the movie, or whatever. And then my first thought, oh, dude, this is so twisted. My very first thought was like, is that his daughter that he's trying to turn into his wife? Because I wasn't sure what was going on with his daughter. That
crossed my mind as well at some point.
I asked Chris because I couldn't figure it out because I must have missed like a piece of dialogue somewhere.
Y'all are so twisted.
also because wasn't he making her in like image of his wife or something like that? I feel like they kind of set that up a little bit, and they never really. I don't know. They really never came out and said it, but I feel like it was insinuated a bunch.
Well, that's
kind of why he fell for her in the end, because
that's how I thought about it. That's why he was so in love with her, because
he was such a badass. He did such a good job that
although they never show you his wife before the scars, and they do say that even as good a job as he did, she does look a little different. But so you never have to make that comparison.
Yeah, and with the the lost brother or whatever, I mean, he thought she was the wife because they had
Yeah, dude,
an
that shit
affair
was
on the
wild.
side. So
Right.
some of the melodrama stuff that
And it's not a perfect script or anything, but I enjoyed it, man. I think it
no,
was a cool movie.
but I do think it was, all that stuff was kind of set up and
Yeah.
thrown out there very, very well.
Dude, I was laughing throughout like 60-70% of this movie, man. This shit was hilarious to me because it was just so ridiculous. And I was like, I really was thinking The Assignment the whole ass movie. I was like, damn, dude, if only that chick had a beard. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, if anybody on here has not seen The Assignment, I think it's on Tubi still. Please, 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 please go watch that movie.
Good. I'm good.
I have not seen that movie, so I'll go watch it.
Direct
that might be a pick on the show soon. Then
I was like, direct all hate mail to punkrockreview at
gmail.com. Yahoo.com.
So is that the best double feature?
There you go.
Yeah, triple features. This one's sandwiched in between The Assignment and Human Centipede, and you just watch them progressively get.
I think I'm good.
Dude, have you seen
You
either?
told us about that movie. No, I started watching it. I was like, I'm not watching this shit. Like,
Yeah.
Dude, the second one's really, really, really graphic. The first one's pretty boring. But or so I hear.
With this movie, I've watched it with two ladies, and they both really loved it. So I think
nice.
It's not too crazy, like to where you're just like it's offensive, but it's a freaky movie.
Right. Tori liked it. I do think she was a little disappointed because she was like, "This is not the sort of psychosexual Antonio Banderas movie I want to watch."
Yeah, she wanted that beat.
Yeah.
Interview with the Vampires next.
There you go.
Yeah, I wanted to know too, like what y'all thought of like the very end, because I'm assuming like you're supposed to like have a struggle between like he was SAing his daughter, although kinda.
Wait, what?
The guy that he kidnapped and genders,
right?
Okay,
it's like, I mean, he's
no the guy that he forcibly transitions, like
yeah,
he did like do something wrong, right?
Yeah, he did something wrong to get himself in that position.
So me and Chris will talk about that. Sorry, continue your question, dude, because I think we disagree on that a little bit.
No, I'm not really saying one thing or the other. I'm just posing the question, I guess, that you're like, I didn't feel bad for him necessarily that he got kidnapped and put into this position. I mean, yeah, it sucks that you're forced to do, but I mean, he was doing something bad. I mean, the
I don't know that the punishment
the punishment does not fit the crime,
right?
But I mean, at the end,
I felt horrible for that.
At the end, when he's escaped and he's free, is like, well, I mean, he still did do something bad. So
I think by that point, it's gone far enough that I feel pretty bad for this guy.
He's been punished enough. Yeah.
Well, because I don't think what he did at the party was necessarily like.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Because as far as
they make it intentionally like very gray,
very vague.
He's
because we
on all these pills and not that justifies it.
No, nothing. I wouldn't say he's absolved of 100% of anything, but like we paused it to talk about it because I was like, man, I don't know that he was actually doing anything that would be considered A, illegal, or B, like certainly worth that. That's wild. Maybe an ass whooping, but like, damn, bro, like kidnap homie and turn him into a different fucking person. Like, what are we doing here?
But you can also see it from Banderas's,
and that's what I told Chris. I was like, let somebody touch Charlie though. So I guess it is what it is.
And also like he just got his daughter back. She was already in the asylum, right? And then he just gets her back, and then this happens. He scarred her for life. He can't even see her anymore. It's so bad. Like he associates him. She associates him with the assault now. So he can't even see his daughter anymore. Like that's
true. That's true. When you put all of it in perspective, it's like I don't necessarily think the kid was doing anything that was worth capital punishment worthy. But I also see from this guy's perspective, like it completely ruined any chance at a relationship with his daughter. So he's like, "All right, motherfucker,
He's like,
you ruined my life. I ruined yours."
Yeah, I already lost my wife, and my daughter's traumatized by it, and now you just like ruined any relationship I could possibly.
And then that other doctor's like, "You shouldn't come back." He's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah, and she kills herself too. So I mean, he did lose
and then he loses her
ultimately.
Too,
yeah.
So what if he just cut his balls off?
You know what I'm saying?
That's a bit more fitting, I guess.
Lost my balls. Yeah,
I mean, he definitely did do that. So
too quick.
But also saw it as well. Like he's like a super hot chick now. Like
I was gonna say the flip side is that he's like a hotter chick than he was a dude. So like, you know,
hey,
Randy,
become a lesbian, and you know.
Okay, I'll roll with this.
Randy couldn't do it though. That's all right.
Oh no, I didn't say all that. Now I just said that I was.
He can get over it eventually,
dude. The dilator scene, I was like, oh.
I was gonna bring that up too. Yeah, when he lays all the dilators out, it's like, yo.
Yeah, and then he's all speaking matter of factly, like you're gonna do this and then this, and I was just like,
and it's gonna hurt at first, and then
oh man. So the fucked up part is that I'm friends with probably, I don't know, I'm like a not associates, what's it called? Acquaintances with like probably a good 15 or 20 people from that community, but I'm like friendly, like friends with like 2 or 3 of the people that I talk to on a regular basis, and like one of them has gone through gender reassignment surgery, and like I remember that conversation, and I remember it being like, what do you have to do? They were like, I have to use these things, and I was like, what is that for? They were like this, and I was just like, holy shit. And so when that scene came up, I literally kept squirming, bro. I was just like, I just remember the first time that I was ever made aware of that as like a thing.
It's impossible
blew
not
my
to like
fucking mind.
Imagine what that is
right,
like,
right, and then being forced into it. It wasn't even like something that you desired to have, and that you were willing to go through the pain so that you could have the pleasure at the other end of the rainbow. There, you got the journey starts here, but the end result is something that you want. It's like, no, we got to do this. You didn't want it, and you know, in order for you to be even a little less miserable, you have to do this. So it's like, holy crap, dude! Like, yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, that's right.
It's pretty fucked up. Yep.
I don't like brushing my teeth, so. I love brushing my teeth. My teeth are nice. No,
yeah, big,
but like
fat toothbrush.
You do have to always like maintain your orifices, and there's just no way around it.
Yeah, so. You do. It's true. Good movie, guys.
Yeah.
I feel like Randy came around on it a little bit. Just the conversation.
No, it was a good movie. I liked it.
Cool. Well, I thought it was a good conversation. I like these are the kind of movies I like when we can, you know, talk for 40 minutes about them. You know, there's like.
Then we're gonna love my pick.
Oh yeah, can't wait. Give it. Just go for it. What is it?
Okay, I got a question for you then.
Oh,
what would you guys rather watch if I was to give you these 2 movie choices?
No.
Okay, good.
Is it The Assignment and The Human Centipede?
How do you know that?
I can't imagine.
Animal House or American History X?
Oh,
I mean, you mean like
I don't really like Animal House.
Animal House.
I'm just asking. What would you rather watch? Animal House.
I would rather watch American History X. I've almost I've almost done that.
I don't like Animal House either.
Okay, then Romper Stomper.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Russell Crowe, right?
Yeah, my choice was between Rock and Roll High School and Romper Stomper, and I was like, what can I equate that to? That would be a good question to just ask you guys randomly.
That's been on my list for a long time, actually.
Well, you know me, I'm trying to double dip and get some like punk rock stuff done too at the same time. So it's also a quality movie too. So my conversation will be like twofold. I'm gonna wonder like, is it an appropriate punk rock movie? Also, was it a good movie, and how was the acting? How was the this and that? So it's to me, it's 2-pronged, and I'm excited. I haven't watched it in a very long time.
This is his first movie, right? Russell Crowe?
I think so.
Early,
I believe so.
Yeah, it's very, very early in his career.
92.
But there's also there's a few movies in this like subgenre that I'm gonna pick out in the near future, and this is England. The other one with Tim Roth. Made in Britain. So we got Made in Britain. This is England and Romper Stomper.
Okay.
We're all very similar, which I think will also give us another conversation to have in contrast to like, hey, how were they all comparatively? You know, because they're all, you know, early roles for I could even include American History X in this probably, and it could be like, this like sub genre of like punk rock movies, and then it goes into like
Skinheads.
very dark territory because people associate that word with stuff that I don't think it's associated with, but
Right.
it doesn't really matter what I think necessarily.
Dude,
so
I was watching Fast and the Furious just now, and they have a race. They call it a race wars. And so the whole movie, they're talking about race wars. And I was like, oh, damn.
Doesn't mean that anymore.
My kid walks in. He's like, what is this? I was like, Fast and the Furious. And he's like, oh, yeah. I was like, they're at race wars. And he was like, ooh, that name didn't really hold up.
It didn't age well. Wow. Awesome. The movie ages really well, though, like a fine wine,
I wanted to watch all those.
It ages like milk, sir.
I
like Fast and Furious. Okay,
first one's pretty good. Yeah,
I'm interested in all those movies you listed, Randy. So
I figured you would be. I figured that was a category that might have all of our attention because it checks so many boxes. It's not just underground movies, not just independent. It's not just punk related to some degree, but it's also got really great actors. It's all, and it's historically relevant to a certain degree. So,
if Jamie,
I haven't watched this in a long time, dude.
If Jamie still watches this, he'll be excited.
Yeah. He's told me to watch This Is England before.
Yeah. I think Clay's seen them, right?
I did watch it recently at his suggestion, and I'd seen This Is England, like 15 years ago, and it was good, but I watched it again, and I was like, damn, that was such a good movie. Like, it just hit me this time.
Which one?
And then I watched the mini series. There's like a series. I watched that.
This Is England.
Okay, yeah. I wasn't sure which one to pick. Really what it was is that I wanted to watch Russell Crowe. That's what it boils down to, or I would have picked This Is England. So
it's a good start.
I got to get out here in a couple of minutes, so I just wanted to shout out this movie Bud. This is a local filmmaker out of Houston. I'm not gonna act as if this is gonna win some awards or anything, but I had a lot of fun watching this. If you're anywhere near Houston, you can come to the Antique Mall where I have my shop, and Twisted Time Machine, Julie, she's got a few copies of this in her stall. I think it's like $15-20, but it's a Blu-ray. They typically come shrink wrapped. Mine, I just opened it to watch it, but it's pretty short. It's pretty simple, but it's like, man, it's not a bad movie, man. I really liked it. I can imagine that it would be a varying degree of enjoyment throughout my friend list or whatever. But I'm stoked that somebody that I personally know made this movie. Like, this is somebody that I'm friends with. Like, I know the people that made this movie, and it's just cool to see it actually on a disc, man. So
that's cool.
And it fits my list of stuff that I like to watch is DIY, but it's not as, dude, the quality of the actual the picture is far better than I was expecting, because I watch a lot of DIY shot on video stuff, and this is far better than that. So pretty bare bones story and acting, but it's their first try at it, I think, and I don't know, man, it's pretty cool. It's a fun movie.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I brought up my buddy that I went to high school with that's made horror.
Right.
He's about to release 2 of his movies here in the next month or two. So I'll maybe bring him up at some point.
Dude, I would love to support that. If I could buy a copy from him on a website or something, let me know.
Yeah.
Also, what's up with Stuckman's movie? Are we getting that anytime soon?
It got purchased by Neon.
So cool. Good for him.
I think it's gonna get a release next year.
Yeah, it had
that's
Mike
wild. Good for
Flanagan come on board, producer or something, right? Yeah.
No shit, huh?
Yeah, Flanagan's producing it, and Neon bought it. So
Stuckyman.
I don't know how much of a release it'll get, but I've heard it got it was played at the Fantastic Fest and stuff recently. So
that's awesome.
Heard pretty good things about it. I'll definitely watch
it. Dude,
it.
I'm so excited about the next 4 weeks, dudes. I can't freaking wait, man. I got my new phone back, so I can finally, I pulled my phone out of my pocket the other day, and there was about 2/3 of the way down the screen, there was this hole in my screen and a spider web crack across my whole shit. I have no idea how that happened. It was just in my pocket. So let's hear it for fucking stupid cell phone problems. Dude, it ruined 4 days in a row of my life because I couldn't do nothing on my phone because I had to use my old phone, which wasn't hooked up to any of my services of any of my stuff. Couldn't even text nobody. It was crazy. Anyways,
yeah.
Would anybody watch anything cool that I need to watch?
I watched Snack Shack from the director that we watched a couple weeks
Dinner
ago.
America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It was good. I didn't like it
Yeah.
as much. I didn't like it as much. It starts off really good. Like it's a good, fun hangout summertime
Mhm.
movie, and then I feel like it kind of lost its way in the end. It like all this bad stuff starts happening to the kid. It's like why? Like why? It didn't really, I thought, serve a
Yeah.
purpose to the plot of the movie. Like I think it was kind of just shoehorning some, coming of age stuff into
Well,
it.
there's some
But
drama between the kids and stuff, which
yeah,
happens in every like coming of age movie. But then there's like a random like one of their friends die, and I'm like,
yeah,
okay, yeah, I agree with you on that part. It's like they just
yes,
kind of shoehorn some stuff in to like bring everybody back together and
yeah.
in the
So
movie.
it was like funny and fun, and then like
It's a good time.
2/3 of the way through it, it just like just screeching halt, not fun anymore, not funny anymore. Like, okay.
That's terrible.
So but it was good though. I did miss the like weird quirky dialogue from Dinner in America. I don't know. That was such
They're not like awkward people. Like they're
yes.
like more like
I mean, you could
kind
say
of
that
douchey high
you could-
school kids.
yeah, you could say Snack Shack is a little bit more realistic and well done, I guess.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Tracksuit Kids got their own movie, right?
A little bit. Not.
I mean, they're not that. They're not.
Douchey.
Yeah, they're not that douchey.
Right.
They're just like dumb, like 14-year-olds.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
and they're all doing like really adult stuff. Is like okay, like kids get up to stuff, but like they're like brewing beers and coming up with all these like they're
It's
like
fun though.
playing this
It's a lot of
spot-
fun.
Yeah. It's not meant to be serious.
Well,
but
the whole thing is they buy this snack shack at the pool, and they're like running this convenience store or whatever at the pool,
Mhm.
and they start selling like hot dogs and stuff. And then they start writing "fuck" with the ketchup on the dogs and start selling them as fuck dogs.
That's amazing.
and so
I'm in on this one.
And they
I want to put some capital behind this idea.
yeah, right. and they just sell them for like 75 cents more, and they're like
Yeah.
genius. That's their whole like business
Yo.
model.
I would do something like that. That's
It's
awesome.
fun. Like I think you'd like it, Randy, if you watched it.
I'll
you'd
check
like
it out. Before
Yeah,
I go, I just want to. Sorry, Chris.
let's say it's a fun time.
It's fun. It's on
The
Prime.
end, the end bugged me a bit, but it was a good watch.
I love Elijah Wood. I just want to preface this with I love Elijah Wood. One of my favorite dudes to watch in movies. I think he's like a miniature horror icon. Even he's really involved with a lot of horror movies, and he plays a lot of parts that you wouldn't think somebody of his stature would, not stature like physically, but like just his. I know, right? So, but he plays in a lot of movies that you're like, oh damn, Elijah Wood, huh? That's kind of cool because he's been in some pretty big movies, dude. There's this one called Open Windows. All I saw was that he was in it, and I went, I'm kind of tired. Play. Dude, I need somebody else to watch this, please. I don't care which one of you it is, because I need to talk about this movie.
Is it a positive review?
Oh,
or-
no,
Okay.
not even a little
So
bit.
you want someone else to suffer with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Sorry, I'm not your,
thoroughly
not your
enjoyed
man.
this.
I'm not your man for that.
Come on, man. Gotta have some fucking fun, Josh. It was awesome. It was so fucking bad, and I loved it. I was like, what am I watching, dude? It was like it's like this dude that I'll just the synopsis is incredibly simple. An actress refuses to have dinner with a fan who won a date with her in an internet contest. In return, a man posing as her campaign manager helps the guy to follow in the footsteps of the actress from his own computer. It's like this weird, like, anonymous hacker group type, like, and it's really poorly done. The dude's voice is really bad. All the shit that they're doing in it is just incredibly unrealistic. And even Elijah Wood's acting is really bad in this movie. And I was so surprised. I could not quit watching it, dude. I was like, this is the worst fucking movie I've ever seen in my life. It's like the Fanatic level disaster.
Is
Dude,
this on that
not
level?
not quite that fun, but yes, it's in that realm, dude. Like, this is like
Not quite that fun.
And on that note, fellas, I gotta go. I'm 30 minutes late for my live stream, man. Yeah, Romper Stomper next week, dudes.
Cool. Sounds good.
Yep.
Later, fellas.